Hello everyone, and welcome back to Turkish series stars. I'm genuinely excited to share a tale that feels like it leapt straight from a primetime script, except this time every twist and turn truly happened. Today, we're diving into the story of Akınözü and Ebru Şahin and the romance that pulled them into each other's orbit. Over the years, they've become one of the most adored pairs in Turkish entertainment, and how their relationship unfolded is the kind of magic people still whisper about. If you're a lover of grand romances, if Turkish dramas make your heart race, or if you simply believe in fate setting the stage, stay with me to the end, because I'm going to tell you everything. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe to Turkish series stars so you never miss our stories, our insider moments, and all the heartfelt chapters we uncover. Picture this. Two exceptionally gifted young actors standing at a high point in their careers, joining forces for a project that no one could have predicted would explode across borders. That's how it started for Akınözü and Ebru Şahin. They crossed paths on the set of the series that shook up Turkish television and charmed audiences from Istanbul to Rome to Latin America, Kiraz Mevsimi, lovingly known as Cherry Season. It wasn't just a success. It was a benchmark for both of them, a launchpad that lifted their profiles and, more importantly, brought their hearts into sync in a way that felt both surprising and inevitable. In Kiraz Mevsimi, Akın portrayed the magnetic Aziz Dincer, while Ebru embodied the tender yet resilient Oykoker. And Oyku became a whirlwind, an unpredictable ride of soaring highs and aching lows, misunderstandings that made you want to shout at the screen, and reunions that made your heart soften. The story resonated far beyond Turkey, and at the core of that resonance was the undeniable spark between Akın and Ebru. From their first shared frame, something crackled. More than chemistry, it was a current that looked too alive to be merely rehearsed. Viewers fell head over heels for and Oyku, yes, but they also began to wonder, could that glow spill into real life? As filming rolled on, the bond between Akın and Ebru tightened. Long days on set turned into easy laughter after cut, into late discussions about scenes and life, into small moments of complicity that bloom only when two people share a dream and a workload. It's a familiar story in this world. Proximity can shape powerful ties. Yet what made theirs stand out was how naturally it unfolded, never forced, never staged. At first, both focused on their craft and kept everything impeccably professional. Kiraz Mevsimi demanded the best of them, and they gave the series their all. But admiration has a way of becoming warmth, and warmth has a way of becoming something deeper when two hearts are open. There was no single second anyone could circle on a calendar as the official start. Like every love that deserves to be remembered, theirs grew quietly, like the dawn inching across the horizon. One day you notice the light is everywhere. After the show's runaway success, when cameras stopped and the set fell silent, something between them remained, and then it grew. People started spotting them together away from the studio. First it was a coffee here, a casual dinner there, a shared ride after a long day. Then the whispers began to roll through social media and press columns, gathering momentum like snow on a hillside. They tried, naturally, to keep their private world intact. Stardom invites flashbulbs, but it also invites intrusion. Protecting that small sanctuary became important to them. Still, when a pair radiates that unguarded happiness, it's hard to stay invisible. Real affection glows through everything. Posture, tone, the way two people stand a little too close even when the cameras are far away. Fans sensed it before any headline claimed it. What I've always found compelling about Akın and Ebru is how sincerely they navigated the noise. Some couples thrive on spectacle, they chose stillness. Instead of grand proclamations, their truth surfaced in gestures. The way he would look for her at events, the way she would post support for a new project without adding a single exclamation, as if to say, we know what this is, that is enough. Their love didn't need press releases. It announced itself in the quiet rhythm of two careers moving in parallel, then crossing, then walking side by side. Let's not forget that both came from meaningful work before Kiraz Mevsimi, but that series was the turning point. It unlocked a new level in their careers and gave them the time and space to see each other fully. The audience's devotion created an atmosphere where they could grow without the burden of proving anything. The show didn't just gift them a platform, it built a bridge. And the industry took notice. Offers poured in, and talk of reuniting them on screen became a fan wish that never really faded. Every time their names appeared together, the excitement felt like the first time. Through the years, we witnessed their evolution. Premieres, ceremonies, and late-night sets came and went, but their bond remained steady. This business can be merciless, long separations, relentless schedules, and the constant hum of scrutiny. Yet their steadiness impressed even the skeptics. You could see how deliberately they supported each other, showing up when it mattered, cheering quietly from the sidelines when one stepped into a risky role, and celebrating victories, big and small, with the same grateful grace. They let the world see just enough to understand, this was solid ground. They aren't just photogenic co-stars who stumbled into romance. They built something sturdy, brick by brick. Respect first, then trust, then that fierce commitment that says, I choose you on ordinary days, not just red carpets. Their colleagues noticed it. Their friends felt it. And fans, ever sensitive to what's genuine, sensed a love that knew how to bend without breaking. And then came the milestone that every love story hopes to reach. After years of sharing dreams, plans, and those small rituals that become a language, Akın and Ebru decided in 2022 to step forward together. They married in an intimate ceremony, just family and the friends who had seen the beginning and believed in the middle. No grand spectacle, no impossible guest list, just the warmth of familiar faces and the hush that falls when two people promise a lifetime. A few images and clips slipped into the world, and what they showed was luminous, a couple so full of joy that even a still photo seemed to move. For their fans, it was a moment of collective exhale, the confirmation that the story they rooted for had truly arrived at its most tender chapter. It was the best ending to one act and the most thrilling opening to another. People still talk about the light in their eyes that day, a look that didn't need captions. It said, we made it here together. That electricity we loved on screen never belonged to the screen alone. In life, Akın and Ebru carry a harmony that shows up in every small exchange. The laughter that comes easily. The glance that lasts half a second longer than necessary. The instinct to steady each other, whether on a carpet with hundreds of cameras or on a sidewalk no one's watching. Their rapport is the secret ingredient that made I and Oiku unforgettable, and that makes their partnership in real life a beacon for anyone who still believes in romance. Fame can test anything. It pulls at schedules, at nerves, at the seams of patience. And yet they found a way to create privacy within publicity, to be transparent without overexposing, to share their joy while saving their sacred. It's a reminder that sometimes fate introduces two people on a set, but what happens next depends on daily choices, showing up, listening well, laughing often, forgiving, and trying again. Authenticity, sincerity, and a willingness to grow, those values have defined their path. Time and again, they modeled what real partnership looks like, rooted in admiration, surprising in its softness, unshaken by the clamor of the industry. They became an example, not because they asked to be, but because in being themselves, they offered something hopeful to anyone watching from a distance. So when we look back and speak of Akınözü and Ebru Şahin, we remember a journey that began with Kiraz Mepsimi. We remember how the fierce spark between A's Dincer and Oykakar spilled beyond the frame and quietly transformed into a bond that could withstand the backstage storms. We remember the rumors that turned into knowing smiles, the public moments that felt private, and the private moments that never needed to be public at all. And we remember that 2022 brought vows, rings, and a promise that wrote a new chapter while honoring everyone that came before it. Their story teaches us that love can germinate in unexpected places, beneath soft set lights, in rehearsal corners, on a street where two people decide to walk a little slower. With commitment, with respect, and with a refusal to make love a performance, fiction can become a living legend. The romance that once had fans shipping Ai and Oiku became a life where two artists hold fast to each other, not because it's perfect, but because it's real. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the romance of Akınözü and Ebru Şahin. I hope reliving these moments brought you as much warmth as they bring us each time we tell this story. Are you among those who still rewatch Kiraz Mepsimi to feel that spark again? Tell me your favorite scene, your favorite glance, your favorite line. I read everything, and I love hearing your memories. If this story moved you, give the video a like, share it with someone who loves a good destiny-touched romance, and make sure you're subscribed to Turkish series stars. There are so many more surprises we have in store, stories that will sweep you off your feet, insights you can't find anywhere else, and the kind of love tales that remind us why we watch in the first place. Until next time, take care, and we'll meet again in the next chapter.